guys, and welcome to episode 7 of Outre the podcast. We are your hosts,
El Chisel
and Makita. We took last week off. We had lots going on, but we're back this week. Outre is the podcast where we talk about heavy topics with a lighthearted twist. But before we get started, let's hear from our sponsors. Photography, graphic design, and web design. Shanti Images does it all. Business cards, event flyers, logos, even designs for up-and-coming artists. Take a look at their portfolio and check out their style. See if it's right for you and your brand. Contact Shanti Images today for a free quote. Shanti-images.com. Shanti means peace, and that's what they aim to bring to all of their images, no matter the subject. All right, new book alert for the poetry heads out there. L'Aqua, which means water, is a collection of poetry and prose by my sister friend, Samantha Rose. She's a writer based out of the Bay Area and is also the owner of Pussy Magic.
Hey, Samantha.
A holistic healing collective for women. She just released L'Aqua. It is awesome. I actually just got my copy. I didn't get to read the whole thing, but I probably read about a quarter of the way into it, and I'm digging it so far. Real nice work. Really, I don't know, you can just feel it as soon as you start reading. It's like dripping with emotion. It's very descriptive. It's relaxing. It's the perfect poetry and prose to read before you lay down and go to bed. It's not overtly stimulating. It's actually kind of a soothing read. So even though there's a few things in there, the theme of it, I guess you could say, is kind of feelings, emotions, at least what I've gotten so far. But even though it might seem like that, I think even guys would enjoy reading this book. Anybody into poetry like that would enjoy reading this book. But again, she just released it. It is called L'Aqua. It's L'Aqua. And she's already working on her next collection, which I hear will be functioning as a part 2. Samantha is very passionate about self-expression, self-liberation, and women expressing themselves in ways they feel most comfortable and free. L'Aqua was on sale, as I mentioned, on Amazon.com right now for $22. So be sure to follow my girl Sam on Twitter. Her handle is @SunroseDivine. All right, so topic number 1 of the day, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. He exposed some nude photos of her online after she taunted him with pictures of her kissing a guy. Obviously, he was hurt. He felt that retaliating by exposing the fact that she had plastic surgery after giving birth to their daughter, and pretty much that her butt is fake, which everybody already knew or whatever, and to prove that, he put nude pictures up of her. She's since gotten an attorney, claimed revenge porn, and issued a restraining order. He has to stay like 100 yards from her, what have you, and he complied. He also apologized to his family and everything and all that for doing what he did, and his feelings were hurt or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And your thoughts?
Well, before I get into the context of the situation, I would like to first say that I think that the whole thing, to me, seems fabricated. It's not real. It's another Kardashian ploy to gain attention. However, I may be wrong, but they are the masters of delusion and fabrication, and making things look real when they're really not, and to push certain agendas. Also, I would say, I say that to say, if you even look at the Bruce Jenner situation, he came out as the face of transgenderism. They pushed that whole agenda with him, even though he's a freak of nature and psychotic and crazy, but I think they used him, to kind of catapult that transgender issue here in America and around the world. Now, Rob Kardashian, getting with Blac Chyna, like I said, I think he's the ultimate duck. You know what I'm saying? That's the word of the month concerning him, man. He's just the ultimate duck. You know what I mean? You just have to see certain things coming with certain women. It's just like if a woman asks you to, your first date, she asks you to take all her kids out to eat with her. You know what I mean? you know, the kids that aren't yours, and you decide to do some old crazy shit like that. You know, just you know, some duck stuff. You know, that men fall for and pretty much don't see the signs. I mean, Blac Chyna has been, you know, with many names, many rappers. You know what I mean? I mean, I know she was with lame ass Tiger in a relationship, and I believe they had a kid together, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, in between time and after that, man, she's been connected to so many different people. So she's a whore. Like, what do you expect from her? I mean, but you know, that's pretty much what I got to say for right now.
I have to agree with the fact that it's pretty much obvious what was happening from jump. Everybody on the internet knew this. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure if everybody on the internet knew it and was saying it to Rob in his comments and to his sisters and mom in their comments, that they were relaying this information to them, on top of the fact that they themselves being women, they themselves being hoes, they themselves being opportunistic hoes, should have been able to peep game and let him know what that game was. If I had a brother as lame as Rob, I would definitely, and I was a worldly woman like they are, I would definitely take him under my wing and teach him the game.
Right.
So he wouldn't be done like that. I mean, geez. Ugh.
And it's like, dude, you don't have no friends, man. You don't got no homeboys.
And then at the same time, and it's like,
I mean, how long has a chick been cheating? You know you know
clearly
she's been
he don't have no
connected
friends.
to so many different rappers and entertainers. What makes you think she's gonna stop now? I'm sure she cheated on Tiger too. You know.
Why did they break up?
Exactly.
Who knows? And why did he not really care about getting back with her?
That's right.
He didn't seem like he missed her.
Yeah, man, this chick is thoughtonometer. Just thoughtin', bro. Just, you know, you can't
Thoughttropolis.
You know, you can't like look at this situation and look at you can't turn her on to a housewife. Period.
What were you going to say?
Thoughtotronic? Thoughtonopolis.
Oh.
I don't know. I was just trying to use the thought word.
You got to make them up.
Yeah, man. This dude.
She's a professional.
Yeah, she is, man.
This was done with the utmost precision.
Oh yeah. She
found her mark and made her move.
That's right.
That's why nobody's really mad at her right now. I mean, what she did, that's foul. Like a foul person. I couldn't do nobody like that. But at the same time, I mean, just because I don't live like that, I know people out there is like that.
I look sideways at any chick applauding this whole.
Right.
You know, go Chyna. Blac Chyna did what she was supposed to do. Blac Chyna, no.
She played her role, but she don't have to play that role.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't do what she was supposed to do. That shit grimy, bro. You don't do that. That's how these hoes end up in dumpsters and garbage cans. You know what I'm saying? Across the country. That's not funny. I know it's not funny.
I have inappropriate laughter problems.
But, I mean, seriously. Like, you know, you can't play with everybody's feelings and play with everybody's emotions. Mm. You know? I mean, I'm surprised that he did react that way because most dudes are too scared to say they've been cheated on.
See, I used to watch the Kardashian, and most people who've ever watched that show know Rob. Nobody was surprised that wasn't the surprise.
Oh, okay.
No, everybody knows Rob is like that.
As far as being a typical man, most men, you know, this is the difference between men and women when they get cheated on. Men are reserved and quiet about it because their ego is touched and they're embarrassed, so they don't say shit about being cheated on. Too. However, women let the world know, oh girl, he cheated on me, they put it all online, fuck that nigga, so on and so forth, this, that, and the third. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like,
that's because women are more vocal.
We just react different. Correct.
They don't go yell it to the world. That's how y'all turn it.
So that's
women typically go to their friends and
Rob
talk about it.
looks like a bitch right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you know. Not a bitch. Excuse my language. I don't mean a bitch in the sense of I'm putting that on all women, but you know what I mean. He just looks real feminine and not like a masculine man right now.
He looks uber sensitive to me.
Correct.
He looks uber sensitive and irrational or spastic. Like he can't contain himself. I think an adult who is cheated on would be more reserved. And maybe send all that to her phone and say all that to her.
Right.
And then maybe if she wanted to get the cops involved, be like, he's harassing me. But they would just tell him to stop. whatever.
Right.
This is ridiculous. This is childish. Mm-hmm. That's what this is.
Yeah, and if he wanted to be dirty
and
about
honestly, she ended up looking more mature than him.
Right.
Because she didn't really... what she did was childish, too. She did stuff back, but it wasn't as messy and sloppy as what he did.
Oh, but I think the slick part about the situation was I agree with him clapping back on T.I. I think T.I. should have kept his damn mouth shut. Him in that fake-ass marriage.
He's having a meltdown, but it's still his meltdown.
You know what I mean? Because him and Tiny's so-called divorce, I think that was personally to promote their show, to promote their little show. I mean, you know, drama sells, obviously, and people these days are so they sold for attention and money, and that's just what it seems like to me. All of a sudden, you guys are back together. You know what I mean? That just seems so contrived as well. Like it just didn't seem right as far as, you know, they put out divorce papers and then T.I. put out some divorce stuff.
But they're not that together. That's what I'm saying. Like today, his counter claim, he did. I'm saying that wrong.
Oh, he did his counterclaim?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're keeping it up.
Yeah, but I mean, like you though, I think
but this dude was just on the stage with Tiny.
They were
singing together, and then
they said they were all singing to their.
And they said they were back together. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe something happened.
This is maybe something happened.
Maybe she liked one of Mayweather's pictures.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Ain't no telling, man. You know, ain't no telling with these celebrities though. But T.I. should have shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because if you and your wife paid Blac Chyna to have sex with you. First of all, Blac Chyna, there's so many more women. I mean, so many more women that's sexy and look way better than Blac Chyna with real ass and real titties, even real hair.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, why the hell would you pay that? And then you didn't deny the fact that he said you that he said you paid her. You just came back with when a woman tell you her secrets. You know, you keep those secrets to yourself when a woman confide in you and so on and so forth and this, that, and the third. It's like, okay.
So why don't he take his own advice and stop airing things out with his wife publicly then?
That's right. Exactly.
Just sit down.
Just sit down, T.I., bro.
Sit down and...
Yeah, bro. You need to sit down.
Read a book or something.
For real. You know, I like your music. I respect your hustle. Your tactics of late, man, has been kind of weird, bro. But yeah, anybody who airs their marriage and relationship, business in public, you know, that's you should look at it. You should look at them sideways. Like, who does that? Who airs their divorce or, you know, even though some of the stuff is public record, but, you know, I'm sure they can have emotions.
Somebody would have to go and look for that,
right? But you know, but there are emotions that you can have filed with the court to keep it private, or keep certain things private about your divorce, or you know, if you have any type of lawsuit against anyone. So, but anybody who publicly lets paparazzi and TMZ and, you know, constantly be in their business and have a cameraman with them, you know, all the time. Because Kardashians always have cameraman with them. You know, that's a thing now. These celebrities are actually hiring cameraman or either calling the paparazzi, you know, when they're doing stuff. So a lot of this stuff is contrived, man. Believe half of what you hear and none of what you see, or none of what you see and half of what you hear.
I would say believe 25% of what you hear. There's so many lies out there about things. But, yeah, it's a really vapid society. I think these people at this point, like the Kardashians, can't even help but have paparazzi around. Can't even help but vomit all their information out online. Correct. Because they've become so accustomed and so needing of this type of attention and energy that they don't know what they will do without it. A lot of people lose it when Correct. They're not famous or being talked about every damn day, or, you know, stuff like that. I think they're addicted to it. It's a sickness. I think they're sick. I think that's why people behave so vapidly. I think that's why whenever anything goes on in their lives, they have to document it. They have to take pictures and put it on Instagram to see how many thousands of likes and adoration comments they can get from it. it becomes a drug. I think it is addictive. There's already been a lot of studies done on the internet and social media and how it psychologically affects people as a whole, as far as the population, I guess, as a whole, and people individually. And it caters to narcissistic ideology, narcissistic behavior, a need or desire, an insatiable desire to be liked or acknowledged by everything. It becomes addictive like a drug, and it gets to the point, just like a crackhead will turn any kind of trick, sell any type of thing for their fix. I think these people develop an attitude like that about paparazzi, attention, and fame, that they'll do anything for the attention, even to orchestrate this breakup, because everybody knows, like you even mentioned earlier, Blac Chyna has exposed her body. That's her thing. She was a damn stripper, so it's like she's exposed her body everywhere all this time.
Defamation lawsuit or what is it? Porn,
revenge porn
thing.
And I know revenge porn is like the intent and the energy behind it, but clearly she's not ashamed of her body. She is not ashamed. So I think it's more so an addiction to the attention these people have to be in the news. Who knows if this might even spur into a show or a book for somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Or some kind of, again, new agenda. The slut shaming thing and the whole feminist lawyer package she has. What
I don't get is, like you said, this chick is a stripper, man. You can take cell phones and what have you in the strip club and I've been in a few strip clubs, and I was able to take my cell phone. I've seen people post their videos and pictures of being in the strip club of these women.
Right.
She is a known stripper.
Right.
She has scantily clad stuff all over the internet, Instagram.
Exactly.
You name it. Whatever social media site you can go to, you can see Blac Chyna's ass, titties, and whatever else you want to see. So her lawsuit seems frivolous to me, especially like you said that she liked all the pictures that he posted.
Right.
She ran out and it's just more media, more attention. She got these the Hillary Clinton looking feminist lawyer that jumps on every so-called feminist women's rights case. And, it's basically exploitation. She's exploited as well, for attention too. So anybody who can get, anything out of this, including T.I. or whoever else is named in this, they're going to jump on board. Snoop Dogg.
Just to get their name out there. Because
Snoop Dogg has something to say. The Game has something to say about how, he smashed. And, just everybody has something to say. Stay relevant.
Right, exactly.
Don't take it with a grain of salt.
Pretty much.
Don't get vested in
and
this crap.
And the disturbing thing is the trend or the idea or whatever that this pushes is like in relation to the whole Amber Rose thing and the slut walk thing. We talked about that a few weeks ago on the show, and in delving into her site or the site about it on the air, there was no point to it. At the end of the day, out of everything that we read on there, it didn't really address a point of what they're doing. So I say that to say this.
Yeah.
I say that to say this. What disturbs me is the agenda that they are pushing, that, revenge porn, he shouldn't have posted those pictures of her nude on the internet as revenge because he was mad. But I say those pictures of her shouldn't have been available if she didn't want anybody to take them and post them online for revenge.
Right.
And I'm sure I'll get attacked because we live in a climate where women, for feminist reasons, no longer take responsibility for any damn thing they do. But facts is facts, ladies. Like, you are responsible for yourself and your body, just like you want all this freedom for it. You also should understand with that desire for freedom comes a responsibility, how you show yourself to the world, so that there aren't nude pictures for somebody to put out on you. And if there are, own it. I mean, if you were a stripper and you stripped or you modeled or for whatever reason you have nude pictures on the internet that you placed up there, own it then. How can somebody use a picture of you that you already had out there? Not saying he used the exact same pictures, but it's the same body, it's the same titties we seen. So how are you going to call somebody putting something that's already out there revenge?
That's why the lawsuit is probably going to be
thrown the hell out.
Or thrown out.
You just mad because you a hoe and you got exposed for being a hoe.
And she trying to milk that cow as much as she can milk it.
But the sick part is, again, when you go in the comments, because yes, as I mentioned before, I frequent the shade room because that's where I get a lot of my information because I don't live that life. I don't care about these people, so I don't know. But if you go in the comment sections, these chicks are defending that, applauding that.
You go,
this
girl.
Woman doesn't have a real job.
Yeah,
Come for me. Don't at me.
I give any woman the side eye
because it's like she don't talk about something she parlayed now after she got fame from associating with Kardashians. Because don't forget, she was friends with one of them, Kim or something, before all this Tiger stuff went down.
That just says a lot about your morale. If you feel like she's parlaying something, parlaying what? Being a liar, using her pussy to get what she wants, going around sucking and kissing on different men for money.
Don't matter.
Stripping and doing who knows what with who, with whoever. Like, you think that's a feat? You think that's a come up? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's degrading and demoralizing. Like,
but we live in a world where up is down and down is up. So people see this demoralizing behavior and call it power.
Oh, okay.
Because
power.
she's getting money for it.
That's the pussy
So they
power.
only see money is a lot of people today. Money is their god. So as long as you are getting money, everybody supports what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what they say about Kardashian, Kim Kardashian. Well, she getting money.
Exactly, because there's nothing there to respect.
She's draining the hell out of black man, her and Chloe, but they getting money.
But y'all got black love, right? Okay. All it takes is some big titties and a big booty, and y'all lose y'all minds. Men and women. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm attacking all of y'all. No. I'm just saying, though, it's sick and it's sad.
Yeah, I agree. Money is the be-all and the end-all at the end of the day. The
be-all and end-all. But moving on. That's enough for them. They're not that important. 444 dropped.
Fuck Blac Chyna. Fuck T.I. Nah, let me stop. Go ahead.
I wasn't ready. 444 dropped on Tidal. Who cares? A week later, the next week, rather, it dropped on Apple Music. So I got a chance to peruse the album. I only did it once because I'm not a Jay-Z fan. No shade. I'm just not my cup of tea. There's a couple songs I like.
I skimmed it.
But, all right, there was nothing that I was like, oh, man, woo.
Yeah, it was elevator music to me. It was kind of boring.
It was kind of boring. But I did like that he wasn't talking about drugs and hoes and shooting niggas. I was happy.
He already did that for 16 other albums, or 15,
some people
14
don't know
other
when
albums.
to quit, though.
Yeah, I mean... Now he's turned a new sheet, and he's doing his gospel album.
Right. Well... What I wanted to touch on, because I'm not a hip-hop head, so I'm not going to sit here and, I'm not going to sit here and try to dissect his album and break it down and give my honest hip-hop opinion, because I'm not a hip-hop head, so I'm not going to tread where I don't belong. But what I will talk about is the reaction from ladies after this dropped. So apparently, this is being dubbed the answer to Beyonce's Lemonade, her ode to being cheated on, being pissed, and then coming back to, them working it out. So we had to wait, a year or whenever Lemonade came out, to hear his response. He apparently addresses the Solange and elevator thing and the Becky with the quote-unquote good hair and so on and so forth. So, the album was titled 444. He claims he woke up at 444 and wrote the song 444. In that song, he discusses cheating on Beyonce with lines like, took for my child to be born, to see through a woman's eyes, took for these natural twins to believe in miracles. I'll address the whole natural thing later. Took me too long for the song. I don't deserve you. I harass you out in Paris. Please come back to Rome. You make it home. We talked for hours when you were on tour. Please pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. I don't mean to. I'm laughing because as I'm reading this, I'm thinking about the comments that people said. And at first, I was harsh and was like, "Y'all just want to listen to nigga music." But now I do get it. This is the most unrelatable stuff. I harass you in Paris. Please come back to Rome. We can't relate. But anyways, that being said, that's not where I was going. Anywho, the point is, so he apologized for cheating. Like, there's more to it. I don't care. But he apologized for cheating and da-da-da-da-da. So then it prompted these chicks to write pieces. I want to say the one I read was called 443. It was getting substantial acclaim on Twitter. Being this marvelous piece of work by some girl who listened to the song and felt some kind of way because she had a little boyfriend who cheated on her, and she quickly broke up with them because that's what feminists teach. Never give a man a chance because they're all the same. So if one cheats on you, guess what? They're all going to cheat on you. Fuck up! So anyways, so she immediately breaks up with him, later to regret it after hearing Jay-Z's song. Again, another sign of these people not having minds of their own and being dictated by the media, but they'll be the first ones to tell you, I'm not brainwashed, you got me messed up, but that's a whole nother show. So in the end, she makes this song, she writes this piece. It sounded like a poor me victim piece where she didn't take responsibility for whatever happened in their relationship to cause the guy to cheat in the first place. And the fact that he was just a boyfriend and they were not married, nor did they have children together. But the piece pretty much condemned men, demonized the guys she was writing about. The only guys who applauded this piece were those guys that say the black woman is God, those guys. And then a bunch of other bitter / hurt women out there who are also feminists, but don't know how to get or keep a man, don't care, but are lonely. Like, these are the most confused group of individuals I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
They totally missed the mark in listening to this song based off this piece that this girl wrote and all the fools that reposted it and were agreeing with it. I thought it was a sappy victim piece. Even if you're a Beyonce fan and you claim that she inspires you.
She beat the guy up? She used to punch him in the face.
She was like, by the way, I apologize for punching you in the face that time. And you want to know why this dude cheated on you? Are you serious right now? He was in the streets looking for his manhood, girl.
Right. She wore the draws,
to me.
Man.
You want to be a feminist? Like, I literally follow these people online just out of curiosity to get into their minds and find out where their heads are at, because I'm confused. And they be like, in one breath, literally the same person will be like, I hate men. We could do without them. Like, they're trash. Mm-hmm. Was it toxic masculinity? And then this is like 11 a.m.
Somebody tried to use that shit on me before.
I know. This is 11 a.m. By 3 p.m., I'm lonely. I wish I had somebody to cook for. Then tomorrow, it's like I would never cook for no man. What's wrong with your hands? You can't cook for yourself? Then 3 p.m. the next day, I wish I had somebody to play in my hair and rub my scalp. Girl! Like,
I wish I had somebody
we're gonna die out.
Dig me down and...
Yeah, I want somebody to break my back. They be saying, but girl, first of all, a dildo can't do that for you, and nor can another chick. Our back muscles aren't even built to thrust in that direction. So, a chick cannot beat your effing back out. You need a man. I just don't know where to go. Because it's like, gag me with all of this feminist crap that y'all millennial people be. Y'all don't know nothing. Like, no offense, man. Bro.
Confused.
Like, I love y'all, but at the same time, you haven't lived no life. You haven't done nothing with y'all hands. All y'all do is look at your phone and live on Twitter, Facebook, and all of the rest all day from sun up to sundown. Like, if you got a job, y'all still online. Right. I'm at work right now. Really, nigga? Like, do your job.
And let me give my spin on Jay-Z's album. Parts of his album where, he's talking black economics and he's talking this, that, and the third to try to help us and talking about building your credit and so on and so forth. Jay-Z reminds me of some of these black pastors or these pastors, period, who are preaching from the pulpit, where they have so much money to play with to make these investments. They are put in position and to make these investments, to make money. Whereas, the average person who's working a 9 to 5 job, or, that's all they know, who don't really have money, living paycheck to paycheck, trying to build their credit, who might have fell on hard times. They don't play with that type of money. They haven't been put in that type of position. Jay-Z sold drugs,
Jay-Z started out on top.
Jay-Z sold drugs and started out with money. He got with Dame Dash and the other cat, I don't really know his name.
Them.
They collaborated, and made the whole Rockaware and Cologne and this, that, and the third. So, but they was already playing with a whole bunch of money, and they did it the illegal way. So, at the end of the day, with Jay-Z, he's sitting down with Bill Clinton and what's the other guy name? The other rich white guy.
Bill Gates.
All these oligarchy white people, man. All these big time white people. Adam Greenspan, and just different people. Like, you just don't really expect them. Those same people are cutthroat. They respect Jay-Z because
he moved like them.
He moves just like them. They came up dirty. You know what I'm saying? I can go on and I can tell you a whole bunch of stuff about Bill Clinton, but that's a whole nother story, a whole nother show. From him moving drugs in Arkansas, how the Arkansas was basically the central place for a lot of the drugs to come, where the CIA sent the drugs, but it was so low key because it was Arkansas, nobody would think. But that's where a lot of the drugs was dispersed from. But anyway, that's another story. Jay-Z, he can't really speak on certain. I don't think he should be speaking on certain things. You can speak, but what are you doing to help these people? What are you doing to help people start small businesses? Do you have some type of program? Do you have some type of college fund? You sit here telling us how to move and how to live and how to do this and how to do that. But, bruh, look at your track record. Look how you got where you are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, whatever, Jay-Z.
Nice apology.
Yeah, the apology was nice. You know what I mean? I felt the apology. I know people who've been in that situation, and I've been in that situation. So, at the end of the day, as far as him seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, as far as like, it's just not conducive to go out and mess up your marriage with other women. Point blank, period.
It's not. But I don't think it's fair addressing this girl. I didn't pull the article back up. Honestly, I don't even want to rep her because I thought it was trash. But in regards to that article, I think young women in their 20s or younger who are not married, have never been married for any longer than 5 years, and don't have children with their husband, have the right to comment on what Beyonce decides to do in this situation. What regular women, everyday women like me, cannot compare our situation to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is not the most handsome man. He's aware. Beyonce is aware too. That's probably not why she's with him. Sure, it might have something to do with him having a lot of money, but at least she knows he's not after hers, okay?
Man, that money got that nigga looking like Denzel right now.
Let's just say, aside from the whole vapid materialistic thing, let's just say she fell in love with him, regardless of how he looks. Maybe he was a good man to her and treated her the way she wanted to be treated by a man.
Yeah, chemistry is chemistry.
Because, and he probably almost lost this woman by doing this crap. She probably was out the door. And thought about it, and
those reports probably weren't wrong. Those inside reports.
She was probably like, "F this nigga."
Yeah, they were saying they was divorcing her long for a long time.
I had my daddy, so I know my worth.
That's right.
So, and I'm just looking at it real. I'm just trying to be real. So, that being said, us regular women can't relate to that because he's Jay-Z. So not only does he have women in his face,
that's right,
but he has women literally begging him, "Please let me suck your dick. Please let me give you head. Please Let me fuck you and all your friends. Like,
right.
I mean, I sound ridiculous right now, but they do. That's what I'm saying. And them chicks
that's like nothing, bro.
Enjoyed it. That was probably the best thing that happened to whoever that was.
Correct.
He probably has before he was married. Like, he probably did all kinds of stuff.
It's nothing, bro. Yeah.
So my point is, he's only human. Even though that's some superhuman stuff, he's only human. He's only a man. Everybody knows men are tactile, visual creatures. So these women be dimes. Like, these women be gorgeous looking.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's hard. It's hard. Yes, he's with Beyonce, but he's still a man. And if you lived your life a certain way, woman after woman, and you just chicks whenever you want and whatever you want,
I'm sorry, and then you get married, it's
hard. That's what I'm saying. It's hard, though. It's probably hard to get out of that pattern, especially if you didn't see anything wrong with it at the time and you had a great time doing it.
That's right.
You know, you could love her, but in the beginning of your marriage, or you know, when you're really trying to get sick, it might be hard because, listen, women come at you even harder when you're married. So I'm sure it was even worse. You know, so I'm not giving him a pass. It was wrong. He shouldn't have cheated on her. That was wrong. But maybe she understood because she's in the industry too. She know how them hoes are. And they have love, and they had a foundation, and it wasn't worth throwing away over him messing up with some strong-willed whores.
And, you know, like I said, how women and men handle stuff different, and women and men are just totally different. Like you said, men are visual, and, you know, men like their love shown in a physical manner, and men can cut off their loins and not fall in love with a woman if they have sex with her. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, on the contrary, women are more so emotional, you know, when it comes to sex and certain things. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying Beyonce cheated, but women cheat too. You know? So some of these same hypocritical chicks talking about Jay-Z and being cheated on, and, you know, women just don't get caught with their shit. You know, they like cats, and they get like 9 lives.
Not only do women cheat, women also have a habit of shutting off emotionally from their men. Right. Maybe not on purpose. You know, you might get busy or whatever, and you aren't prioritizing correctly.
That's right.
And when you're not showing your man attention or physical attention, he might feel the same way we feel when they don't talk to us.
Correct.
So he's going to go out and get the physical attention he craves.
You broke that down
like that's why women emotionally cheat.
Hey, that is the most profound thing you said. Say that again.
I don't know what I said.
Say it one more time.
They can rewind it and play it again.
Say it one more time.
No, I'm saying it's possible for a man because men need physical, like, attention. And if we get busy and don't prioritize that, or, you know, or put it too low in our list of priorities and look at everything else and neglect that, they might go out and try to get that physical thing that they crave, not necessarily thinking with their dicks. It's just an emotional thing. Just like I said, if our men don't communicate with us, if they're always on the phone or always out with their boys or what have you, then, you know, a lot of women, if you're younger and things like that, might go out and start talking to other guys because you know, and that connection that you're looking for is not there. It's the same thing for men.
It's innately, you know, we're innately like that. We're born like that. Most men.
Hardwired. That's where you seek. That's where that thing is, that well that needs to be filled up.
Correct.
For women, it's maybe snuggling and talking.
Right.
For men, it's having sex.
And women like dick too. You know, some women like dick too. You know,
I'm not implying women don't like sex, but that's not what we need.
Right.
You know, it's maybe possibly for many women, not all, a lesser of a need than it is that emotional thing, and then it flips for men possibly.
Correct.
Because you need to talk to men and tell them you love them too, but I think it's more important you show them.
That's right.
Maybe because
it is.
You know.
You're right.
But yeah, so I would like to call this segment 445 because women cheat too, women neglect too, women do men wrong too, women play men too.
Right.
You know, it's not always the men who are the dogs, who are the heartless, cheating dogs. You know, sometimes it's
Blac
women
Chyna.
too. Hello. Not only did she cheat, she had a nigga in his robe in his bed and sent him the video. Like, what did Rob do
that was
to
his
you?
robe?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, Lord. That was his robe.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes, it was.
Hey, man, we need to watch Rob, man. He might OJ that chick, man.
No.
For real. Yeah,
Rob just needs him a good girl to help him forget about Chyna.
Hey, man, if Blac Chyna end up in a dumpster, man, you'll know
Damn
why.
Dumpster. Yeah, but 445, women cheat. Women do wrong too. Girls, ladies, just because we're ladies and we are the softer, fairer sex does not mean that we are always the victim. Nothing screams pathetic more to me than a woman who walks around with 3 dudes playing violins behind her everywhere she goes. Nobody likes a victim, ladies. Nobody likes a victim. And it doesn't serve you. It doesn't help you become stronger. Sure, we're victimized a lot. But stand up. Don't be a victim to that. Just let it be an experience that helped you grow. You ain't got to be a victim. That shrinks you down.
Yeah, don't hold
Same
on
thing
to
goes to you, Rob. You're not a victim. Get some strength from this. Show Blac Chyna you're a man and you can stand up.
That's right. And get you another chick.
Get you another woman, a good woman. A woman that's not famous.
Yeah, get you a real good woman.
A woman to help you sell your socks.
You know, and get your baby, and then bring that.
Take your baby from that
bring that woman around
and her
your
party
baby.
packs. He said he paid for her party pack.
Yeah, man.
With weed and coke and X and alcohol. All right, Chyna. Mm-hmm. Surgery ain't gonna save you forever, girl. A rough lifestyle catches up with you eventually.
I'm sorry. That still says something about T.I. if he hit that, bro. I just couldn't see myself hitting that, bro.
I won't say always, but ever since all this tiny stuff, I haven't viewed him the same. He seems like a grimy dude to me now.
Obviously, he likes that fake shit because his wife is fake. His wife got fake lips, fake cheeks, fake butt, fake tits, fake hair,
fake eyeballs,
fake eyelashes, fake eyeballs, nigga, nose job, fake kneecaps. Nigga, you know, a new belly button, like
fake kneecap,
everything, bruh.
Fake nostrils.
So and T.I. like that shit, and he's liked it for years. So you know, I could probably see how
he says a lot about T.I.
Exactly. So I could see how he would he didn't deny the whole Blac Chyna thing because you know it probably happened, but that's disgusting. The fact that you lay down with a whore with your wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what the hell are y'all into? And then y'all are sitting there, y'all are sitting there, T.I. and Tiny sitting there talking about who cheated on who, but y'all are sleeping with chicks together?
Insert side eye emoji here.
Seriously, bro? Like, okay.
Photography, graphic design, and web design. Shanti Images does it all. Business cards, event flyers, logos, even designs for up-and-coming artists. Take a look at their portfolio and check out their style. See if it's right for you and your brand. Contact Shanti Images today for a free quote. Shanti-images.com. Shanti means peace, and that's what they aim to bring to all of their images, no matter the subject. You want to bumble with the bee, huh?
Oh.
No biggie.
No biggie.
No.
No biggie duck.
No.
Biggie.
Relax on your whole family. Alright, so.
Me and God got a relationship and we cool. I don't need nobody telling me.
Telling you what?
What I should be doing and should not doing. That same stupid chick that posted that stuff about oral sex.
Oh, Lord. Did she ever reply to you? Respond to you?
I think she know better. She ain't said nothing to me.
Oh.
Nah.
All right, so we've gone over Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna, him exposing her whoredom and plastic surgery and all that stuff, and the lawyers and the restraining order. We covered 444. We covered 444 and why men don't discuss being cheated on as much as women do, and why do some women tend to take the victim role in relationships. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that topic?
Not really. I'm done with that topic. It is what it is. We said enough. You know, there's really no more angles. to really discuss about it.
Yeah, so I guess to sum that up, anybody who's saying Beyonce is dumb or wrong in any way for making things work with her husband can kick rocks, because 9 times out of 10 you're too young, or you're single, or you haven't been married any longer than 5 years.
And listen, if you guys feel any differently and have a rebuttal, please write in. Please.
Please
do.
I
would be obliged to respond to you.
Absolutely.
I would love to. Please.
Or you can add us at Outre Podcast on Twitter, or also contact us on Facebook, Outre Podcast on Facebook. We're not hiding. So if y'all disagree with anything, or have something to add, or want to enlighten us on something that perhaps we may be ignorant about, please feel free to contact us. Facebook, Twitter.
Show me the light, baby.
Or you can email us at outre@seventhdimension.com. Moving on. Unless you wanted to take a break, because we've done 2 topics. You good? All right, let's moving on up, moving on out. Bad black customer service. Black people, I'm talking to you. Have you ever been shopping or at the bank or any place where you either over the phone or in face-to-face encounter a customer service representative of the same color, same hue, same tribe as you, but they treat you like crap, or they're rude to you and give you the worst customer service? Or maybe even sometimes there might be a white person or a person of another race ahead of you in line or what have you, or maybe after you, and you notice this person gives them stellar customer service, falls all over themselves make it a great experience for this individual to come into this establishment, but you are treated as if you're trash and shouldn't be there. We'd like to talk about that. We'd like to share some personal experiences and maybe some words of encouragement for those people who are out there treating their own kind like crap.
And it's just not bad customer service. It's bad energy.
Bad attitude.
Like the intent and the aggression behind it is just so foul. Like, it's like, dang, like, why are you giving me this? Like, what did I do to you? You know?
Do you hate yourself for
like, that? I mean, I'm in Popeyes, which I shouldn't have been. But that $5 box, man, shit. I indulge every now and then, but I was in Popeyes. And I'm trying to order. I had 2 orders. I give her the first order. I was unsure about my first order, kind of indecisive. So I was like, okay, I want this, and make it this. So then she was like, okay. And then I'm like, yeah, I want one more order. Oh, you got another order? I'm like, hold on, what the fuck you think you talking to? It's like, that's how it be. I was having a bad day too, but I wasn't taking that on her. But when she said that to me, I reacted and asked her who the hell she thinks she was talking to, and I told her never mind, and I walked out. Like,
now that establishment lost business,
right?
Because of her attitude.
And I'm all for black people being employed, and us having a wage and a means to make money to take care of ourselves. But geez, we can't sit here and blame other people all the time when sometimes we are the problem. Like, sometimes that's why people don't want to hire us, because of our bad attitude, because we're a poor representation of business, But yeah, man, like, it's crazy. And I have many other experiences as far as like being on the phone with some of these people if I'm dealing with a government entity, as far as the IRS or anything, man. Dealing with customer service, I've had some rough experiences. And I'm not saying all black people, because I've had some good ones. I've had some sisters who was really on their shit. And when you get a sister who is really on their job, she's like the best customer service person ever. Like, she really knows her stuff over any Becky, because a lot of those Beckys sometimes be airheads. I'm sorry, but they do. But yeah, man. But for the most part, I've had some terrible experiences with black people. A black male gay person. I don't want to call him a faggot. I don't want to be like Kobe and the rest of the players who call people faggots being on here apologizing because somebody's threatening to sue me. But a black male gay person. They
sue us for what?
Yeah,
Our microphones.
Yeah, like sue me for what? Yeah, you gonna sue me for?
We recently went out of town to Daytona. Every now and then we go up there, get a room for a night or two, stay on the beach just to recharge. You know, sometimes if we're sick or if we're stressed or just want to get away, you know, it's a quick little vacation to the coast. So we booked online through a third party, got our room, showed up to the hotel. The person checking everyone in was a black dude. Personally, you know, I always feel good seeing my own people because I'll say 7 times out of 10 it's a pleasant experience when you're dealing with your own. Then there's that other 30%. This dude was in the 30%. There was a customer ahead of me, an Asian man. He looked to possibly be Japanese. Apparently was part of a rewards program, booked a certain type of room that was not available because it had flooded. So instead of saying, oh, well, I'm sorry, sir, it seems that we've had, you know, a flooding in the room and that particular room isn't available. We do have rooms of a lower standard available. Would you like one of those instead? Again, I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm so sorry. No, instead of that, he just tells him the room is flooded. It's not here. So I canceled your reservation without letting you know, number one, and calling you while you were en route from out of town. Basically, this man was inconvenienced for a room that he prepaid for, and this guy was trying to send him somewhere else. But he was very, very rude about it. So then I began to feel uncomfortable because I'm like, okay, this looks like bad customer service. I seriously doubt he's going to be any nicer to me, even though I'm black. And he comes off as very gay. A lot of gay black men don't like women and treat us crappy anyway. Call us things like fish and all that. It was my turn next in line. Instead of saying, hello, ma'am, can I help you? Or next, or hi, can I help you? He just, without even looking at me, says, what's your email address? I don't know who he's talking to because he was just talking to the Asian man. I'm still in line, oblivious. What's your email address? So I looked at him and was like, are you speaking to me? Then he was like, yeah, what's your email address? So I walked up to him because I wasn't about to shout my personal information across a room full of people at this time. So I proceeded to give him my email address, and I guess he was checking me in the room. But the entire time, he did not look at me. He was on the phone. He checked me in the entire time without looking at me, being kind. Mind you, in my mind, I was pissed. In my mind, I wanted to cuss his little skinny gay behind out. But I think I was reading my Bible earlier or something, and I was just in a better place, and I had Jesus on my mind. And just gave him kindness back. But he never softened up. He stayed a little butthole. I just checked into my room, and I promptly gave them a bad review. His name was Johnny, and he spelled it Joni. So the fact that I remember his name an entire week later, and how he spelled it, shows what an impression he made on me. And you best believe I gave him a very, very, very bad review. Lengthy, wordy. I'm a writer. I can't say creative because I was honest, but I was very explicit in my review of Johnny. Because it doesn't matter to me what struggles you're facing as a little gay boy. It's nobody else's fault.
That's right.
You can't come in here and treat me like crap because you had a bad gay day. Right. That is not my fault, sweetheart.
It was unwarranted.
You should have called in to work. You do not go around throwing your negative energy at everybody else who don't deserve it. Now, Days In has a bad review on their thing because they hired you, Johnny. Because they hired you.
Best Western.
That was, I'm sorry, Days In, Best Western. Are you sure it wasn't Days In?
It's Best Western. I'm positive.
Where did they get Days In from?
I don't know.
Whatever. But they have a bad review because of Johnny. Now, my stay was great. The room is great. Everything was awesome. But Johnny and the chick that answered the phone when we called about, what we call about towels or an iron, what we call them about?
Well, she was just stank. You know, we ain't got no pillows. All we got is blankets, and you can only get one blanket. So I'm like, okay. Click. You know, I ain't even a little finish. You know?
I think it's sad.
You know, sometimes, they say kill people with kindness, but some people need to be clapped back on.
Hard.
Some people just need to be clapped back on.
Sometimes people
I don't
try
always
to
believe
like body.
in killing people with kindness. I mean, people don't know what you be going through. I don't give people that for no reason. If I'm having a bad day or a bad week or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going to be cordial and decent with people, because I do believe in karma, and I do believe what you give is what you get.
That's right.
So I live by those principles, no matter what I'm going through.
That's right.
I just think it's sad that, people can't grasp that. And that is the reason, I don't justify killing or shooting or beating up people, but we see a lot of it online. It's because people don't have tact. People don't know how to handle themselves in certain situations. People don't know conflict resolution, because they're just so into their emotions or how they feel, and, they're not, emotionally intelligent. I think people just need to get some type of wherewithal about themselves and try to do better on a daily basis in how they treat people, especially if people call themselves Christ-centered. But yeah, man, customer service, man, especially, I'm sorry, I've worked in retail, and I actually had a bias towards how I treated black people because I seen how they were treated by other white people and black people. So my bias was to treat them with the utmost respect and give them the superior customer service that they deserve as a human being.
I did the same thing when I worked in retail. Same thing.
And I would cater to them and make sure their experience, their shopping experience, or whatever experience it was the greatest experience. I would even give them free stuff. I would even discount stuff for them. So, not stealing, but just discount. Like, hey, here you go, brother. Hey, come see me next time. And that's just how I was. Like I said, I've worked in some real bougie spots or some real uppity white upper echelon places where the white people felt a certain type of way about black people because I would hear it. I would hear these things. I would hear them say certain things. I would see them treat certain people a certain way. So I was like, I'm gonna be being a conscious black man and a pro black man, not meaning that I discredit or don't like any other race, but I'm black first, and I know in this country we are a minority and we are treated terribly. So at the end of the day, again, if I could treat a brother or a sister that I see that I know who's treated terribly everywhere else, especially in the South, I'm gonna be to the contrary. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And I'm the same way. In my past working retail, I always made an extra effort to treat my people with dignity because as a black person, as a black woman, black person, I know what it's like to go out and go shopping and always be assumed to be stealing, ready to steal, wanting to steal, or whatever. God,
that's ridiculous.
I know what it's like to be treated disrespectfully when you go out and try to handle your business on the day-to-day. So when I was in that position, again, I made it a personal effort each and every day to show all people of color, but especially my own people, the utmost respect and dignity, unless they gave me some flavor. But even then, I wouldn't, ostracize them or embarrass them or humiliate them publicly, but I would let it be known to that individual, you ain't about to sit up in here and disrespect me.
So listen to this, and you brought up a good point about always being looked at like you're ready to steal or ready to take something out of a retail establishment or wherever you are, where white people are, and they just statistically stereotype us on a high level. They done studies on it. I think 2020 did something on it. But anyway, long story short, I had a neighbor who was a white guy who had a white wife. And they were like this clean cookie cut family, but they were drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? But they were functioning drug addicts that know how, to function on a daily basis. They got up and brushed their teeth and did their hair and so on and so forth. They were drug addicts and they had a baby. So they would use their baby stroller and they would go in places like Walmart, Target, Kohl's, the mall, And they would just rack up with stuff and put it under the baby stroller and never got caught. They say they would never get caught, and they would walk straight out. Wouldn't nobody question them, wouldn't nobody look at them, because they had a cute baby in the cart. And they were white. Nobody black would ever get away with it.
Are you serious? Don't come in there with a purse. You can't have nothing on you that look like you can put something in it. They are on you. Loss prevention gonna be around the corner. You know how they do, be leaning up behind the corner like Inspector Gadget, peeping behind the pole.
All kind of weird energy. I be looking like, bro,
walking around with toothpaste and a hairbrush in their hand.
Like, bro, I got a couple of stacks I can spend right now.
Exactly.
I'm not about to go to jail.
I can give you your paycheck for the week right now. And you watching me. Meanwhile, it's 10 white people back here stealing hair color, nail polish, lipstick. Bro. But you watching the black people in here not even thinking about stealing. Seriously?
Yeah, man.
That's when you be like, I might as well steal. Shoot.
Yeah, man.
Child. All that to say, black people, look. I know your job might be crappy. I know them crackers might not be paying you the rate you deserve. I know you probably work harder than your white counterparts at your job. We know. We all go through the same. But I say that to say this. When you are doing business with one of your own, try to put that stuff in your back pocket when you're dealing with us. Don't give it to us. We're dealing with the same stuff you're dealing with.
That's right.
Use some kindness when dealing with your own people. You should be kind to everyone. But I'm just saying, especially your own people. You're not impressing white people by being cruel and mean to your own kind. As we discussed in another episode, white people like loyalty.
That's right.
So if you want somebody white respect, which they're not going to fully respect you, so just give up. But if you want a semblance of respect from your white so-called peers, then show loyalty to your own, because that is what white people respect. They do not like turncoats.
They're not going to trust you.
This is just my white world advice to you, because I've had plenty of corporate jobs. My father was a business owner, so you should listen to me. So moving on to our karma letter. I understand this one's a doozy. I have not read it yet, so here we go. This is from a guy, anonymous. Dear Outre, I'm having an affair on my wife. I have a legitimate reason for why I'm sleeping with another woman, so don't judge me yet. My wife and I got married a year ago. We planned on having kids and growing old together, but that changed 6 months into our marriage. She rushed to the hospital and had an emergency hysterectomy, which prevents us from having any kids. Yes, I'm aware that without the surgery she would have died, but I died inside when I found out that my legacy will not be passed down to my children. She would have died, but she knew how much I wanted a family! Exclamation point. Okay. I will never adopt and raise someone else's kid. I met a woman on a business trip. She was invited by my boss because she was joining our company. I'm an accountant and have enough money to support a family. She was so beautiful and her personality was amazing. She wants kids too and understood how I felt. After a while, we started having unprotected sex and she got pregnant. I was the happiest man alive. I kind of felt like there's no use for my... Oh my God. This is difficult. I kind of felt like... This seems fake. I kind of felt like there's no use for my wife now, but I do love her and we treat each other good. That's why I stayed. I found out last week that my girlfriend is pregnant with twins. I wanted to tell my wife, thinking maybe she would understand that we finally have kids, but I'm not sure how she might react towards it. Now I have 2 women. I love them both equally. Now all I need is for them to get along. So I moved my girlfriend in. It wasn't easy. But I got my brother to lie to my wife by calling her and told her that our pregnant cousin needs a place to stay. We have a big house, a lot of space, and my wife wants babies so bad. She agreed to let her stay. She takes good care of my girlfriend, and my girlfriend is playing her role right. She even asked my girlfriend if she wants to stay with us permanently so the babies could be raised in a good home, and my girlfriend was accepting to that. I always acted as if I wasn't sure if that was a good idea, but after my wife begged me, I gave in and agreed. They are like best friends now. They shop together, cook together, and are always together. I started to get A little jealous. Everything is working out. It's like I have 2 wives. I need to make sure I cross every T and dot every I. Is there anything else I need to cover just to make sure that no one finds out about the truth? My girlfriend no longer works. They both stay home and I supply the money. I am not worried about coworkers telling my wife. I know there are others out there cheating on their wives or husbands. What are y'all's thoughts? Signed, Anonymous. I need to formulate my thoughts on this one. So
Yeah. But I don't know. I think first that the brother should have just left his wife. You know, he should have said, I'm sorry, baby, but I know if you're selfish like that, you don't want to adopt as far as taking care of somebody else's kids, and you want your own lineage to be passed down. I could understand that, but you should have got a divorce, brother. You should have just went ahead and got that divorce. Secondly, I think the wife is not that stupid. And I'm sure she might have figured it out by now, unless she's like a dumb blonde or an airhead. I think she is. I think she's figured it out. I don't think you should have brought your brother into your lie. That's just wrong. I really don't believe in bringing family into lies and using family as alibis. I was at my mother's house. I was with my brother. Like, nah, I you don't do that. You don't do that. But anyway, I just think it's a hot mess, man. Even if it's true, it just really sounds far-fetched right now that you got 2 chicks living with you. Because for one, how in the hell do you even have sex with both of them in the same house? Like, what do you wait for your wife to go out for groceries? And then y'all like get it on, or like, how do you have sneak sex? You know what I mean? Like, that don't make sense. I mean, if you was real G about your shit, bro, you would have just like straight up presented it to your wife and been like, hey, this is what it is. You know what I mean? If I got this chick pregnant, I yada yada yada. Or maybe you can even still finesse it if you got enough game to do it. You can still finesse the situation, but it's a terrible situation. Not one that I would want to be in at all.
Well, first of all, oh my God. There's so much. Listen, the first thing okay, I'm just going to give my thoughts and then I'm going to give why. Just based off of this stupid letter. And I've been trying not to curse, but I'm just going to curse. So, number 1, you, Anonymous, are a disgusting asshole. And I will tell you why. This piece of shit doesn't care about anything or anyone but himself and his imagined dumbass legacy. He opens the letter with, I'm having an affair with my wife. I have a legitimate reason for why I'm sleeping with another woman, so don't judge me yet. Where is the reason? Because the only thing he said after this, he talked about how they were planning on having kids and blah, 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 blah. I'm assuming that this woman lost the baby because she didn't say. She said at 6 months into our marriage, we planned on having kids and growing old together, but that changed 6 months into our marriage. She was rushed to the hospital. Okay, so she wasn't pregnant. She just had some kind of emergency, had to have a hysterectomy. Mm-hmm. But his reaction from that is, the first thing he said was she was rushed, had to have a hysterectomy, which prevents us from having any kids. Then immediately after that, he says, yes, comma, I am aware that without the surgery, she would have died. Then he says, but I died inside when I found out that my legacy will not be passed down to my children.
Did you know?
Then after that, he says, she knew how much I wanted a family, ! As if it's her fault that this lady had to have a hysterectomy, which, a whole nother topic, she probably didn't. They like to take our uterus, ladies. So if a doctor tells you, I have to remove something, please please, for the love of Yeshua, for the love of Yahuwah, get a second, third, and fourth opinion before you let anybody remove anything from your body.
And that's what anything.
Anything.
Get a second,
not just
third,
your uterus.
They
anything.
tell you you got
Men
HIV,
with your prostate.
They tell you got
AIDS,
cancer, whatever it is.
Second, third, fourth opinion,
That's
babies.
Right.
Please do that, my loves.
Right.
That being said, she had to have a hysterectomy. He blames her for it. He died inside. His legacy won't pass down. She knew how much he wanted a family. Moving on, he met a chick. They started having unprotected sex. He got pregnant. He was trying to get her pregnant because all he wanted was a baby from somebody. Because he says she got pregnant and he was the happiest man alive. Immediately after that, I kind of felt like there's no use for my wife now. I don't even want to just dissect the rest of this letter. Y'all heard it. That's why I said he's a piece of shit. That's why I said he's an asshole. Number one, if that was the most important thing to you in your life was to get somebody pregnant and have a baby you can call your own, then that's what y'all should have discussed before you wasted this poor woman's time in marrying her. If y'all did, then you should have been honest with her when she didn't have a uterus no more. Since you didn't urge her, baby, go get a second, third, fourth opinion before you let them take your womb out. Since you didn't do that because you clearly don't love your wife like you claim you do, you piece of shit, you would have left that woman alone. You leave her and you go find you another single woman and get up with her and make a baby. You don't go and make a baby with... And this is the part where it sounds fake to me. You got your side chick pregnant and you move her into your house with your wife. Mind you, you hiding this from your wife, so that means you must be sleeping in the bed with your wife every night. How is your side chick pregnant with your baby okay sleeping in the guest room while you up in there laid up with your wife every night? Because if she don't know... You know what I'm saying? If your wife don't know, you got to be doing stuff regular like you always been doing. You're just disgusting. Like, this is lie upon lie upon lie. And then you cheated on your woman. Then you got this woman that you slept with in your house, pregnant with your baby up under your... Come on, dude. Why are you writing? You are sick. You're gross. I hope that your wife finds out. I hope she finds out and leaves you. And sues the shit out of you in divorce court. So you can't support this next bitch. So she'll have to work and support you and her bastard baby. That's how I feel about you. Yeah, there's other people cheating on their wives and husbands out there. But guess what, sweetheart? They're not moving them in under their spouse's nose and providing for them.
When you want your kids to call you daddy?
Is there anything else I need to cover just to make sure no one finds out the truth? Yeah, there's one more thing you need to cover. Let me know your name and your address. That's what you need to cover. She ain't shit either if he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
This sounds fake as hell.
It does.
So, but if it's real, I hope I hear the aftermath in your wife's letter so I know what happened to you, because this is not going to end well. Someone may end up dead. Who
Cover
knows?
his tracks. That's stupid.
Just protect that baby. And y'all bringing a child into this.
Cover his tracks. Like, why would you want to cover your tracks, bro? Why not, like I say, just tell your wife the truth. The truth shall set you free.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, nigga. Tell the truth.
Anyway.
Listen. You need to tell your wife, and you and your bitch need to move out.
That's right.
Period. That's what you need to do. And then you need to walk light, because if she got some family, somebody's going to be after you.
Yeah.
Okay.
She need to let it burn.
Well, guys, what are your thoughts on this week's karma letter? I sure would like to hear them. Ladies, speak up. Stand up. Let us know what you think about this crap. Fellas, y'all stand up too, because I know y'all ain't co-signing on this garbage.
That's right.
You can write to us at outre@seventhdimension.com. That's email. Or you can inbox or reply us on Twitter at outre podcast, or post on our wall, or inbox us on Facebook at outre podcast on Facebook.
And all y'all copycat ass niggas trying to copycat this podcast and do what we do, your shit gonna fail miserably.
A person trying to play me plays themselves.
That's right.
This is natural.
Peace out.
All right, guys. So we're done with outre for this week. Remember, you can catch us every Thursday on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Wait.
iHeart Radio.
And iHeartRadio. Yeah, so iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, or you can listen direct at podcast.7thdimension.com. Be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode. Peace, guys.
Peace.